Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to try and make a homemade bread in the air fryer. I have been making normal homemade bread for many years now, so I definitely know how to make a bread, but I've never ever made it in the air fryer, so this will be different. So let's give it a go and see how it goes. I'm just letting you know now, I'm just using this dish here, the what I call the cake dish. Yeah, it came with the accessories and that, and so I'll just pop that to the side. Okay, and in here I've got 3 tablespoons of sugar, just normal white sugar. To the sugar I'm going to add half a cup of warm to hot water, so just pop that in there. Just get a spoon and give it a stir, just so the sugar is dissolved. Now remember, everyone has got a different way of making their bread, so this is just how I do it. You may not, you may have seen it made a different way, or you may make it a different way yourself, and that is all good. This is just how I do it. Okay, so now the sugar is all dissolved. And here I've got 2 teaspoons of dry activated yeast. What I do is I just give it a sprinkle over the top. And then I just put that aside just as it is. I don't give it a stir, not at this stage. And I just put that aside for a minute while I'm doing the rest. So pop that over there. Over here we have a bowl. Ta-da! And a spoon! A wooden spoon. Okay, in here I've got 2.5 cups of normal flour, so just plain flour, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Just pop, get all that in there. Give that a stir, just to make sure all that salt is all mixed in there. Bring this back. Now I'm just going to give it a light stir. You can smell that yeast activating. This is not the yeast that I would normally use, by the way. It's all that happened to be in the shops when I was getting yeast. So I don't even know how this would turn out, because it's not the yeast I normally use. But there is our yeast. So what we would do is I'll grab a spatula. Spatula in there, and just make a bit of a well in the centre. Give this a bit of a stir again. See, the normal yeast that I would normally use would have all dissolved by now, but never mind. So we'll just pour a bit of it in. Pour the rest of it in. Scoop your spatula and get all those little bits of yeast that are still sitting there. Just give it a mix up. You can use your hands to do this if you like. Totally up to you, but I will be doing that in a minute anyway. Get yourself some more warm water, hot water, warm to hot water. Now this here, you just need to add in a bit at a time. There's no exact amount, it depends on the weather. So just pour a bit in. Because what we're trying to do is get this to make a dough. And this is where I would use my hands. So you just pour in a little bit at a time, just feeling it as you're going, seeing how it feels, if it feels doughy or not. Still a bit too floury. Just a little bit more. Just only add a little tiny bit at a time. Don't add too much, because otherwise you're going to have to end up adding a bit more flour and everything back into it. It's alright now. So what we're going to do, wipe your bench down, make sure it's nice and clean. And you're going to be putting flour on the bench. So I suggest I just use a clean tea towel and just wipe over that again, just to make sure that it's dry and it's not too sticky. So just get some flour, sprinkle it on here, take your dough out, I'm just scraping the excess bits so I'm not wasting anything. And we're just going to knead it a little bit. I find that different people have different ways of kneading it. You knead it how you've been taught, or however you feel more comfortable. Okay, so we don't want to over knead it, not at this stage. Make sure it's sort of bring it into a bit of a ball, and then just get the container that you used, give it a spray with oil, and you're just going to pop this in here. I am going to just cover it with Glad wrap, but you can just cover it with whatever you have. Even just a tea towel, it's fine. But just cover it. Oops. Just cover it with that. And put it aside, because you're going to need that to just to let it rise, and it should let it rise to about twice its size, which would normally take about an hour. So we'll be back in an hour. Okay, let's just check it. It's been about an hour, and you can see it is risen. So now what I'm going to do is just put some spray on some oil on my fingers there, just give it a punch just to take that air out, and give it a quick little knead in here. That's all. Gonna put the air fryer on 190 degrees Celsius, so just to let it preheat while I'm just doing this bit. Okay, so while that's just preheating, I should have actually had it preheating before, but never mind. So get your oiled, greased tin with your bread, with your dough I should say, just sort of, I don't know what you call this, kind of just pulling it up, see if I can, from the bottom. Get your bread and just pop it into the center of it there. And we'll just cover that again, just while the air fryer is preheating. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, the air fryer has been preheating now, so we're just going to grab that. There's no need to spray this because obviously you're not going to be using that for anything. So we're just going to pop this in there, and we're going to give it 20 minutes. It's normally probably about 30 to 40 minutes or so when I do it in the oven, or if I do it in a bread maker it's 2 hours because it just does its own thing. You just let it go. But so yeah, so we'll give it, I'm going to put it in there for 20 minutes at 190 degrees Celsius, and we'll see what it's like. First of all, we'll just give the top a bit of a spray. Now we'll put it in. So we will be back in 20 minutes and see what it's like. This has been 15 minutes, and to me it's getting too brown on the top, and so I'm going to put it back in because it's not cooked in the middle, but I'm going to put it back in, but I'm going to drop the temperature down to 160. Okie dokie. It has done its time now, so we're just going to carefully, without burning ourselves, take it out of here, pop it down there, and we're just going to leave it on here for about 20 minutes just to cool down, and then we'll take it out. But there she is. So yes, we'll let it just sit there for 20 minutes or so, and then we'll take it out and we'll see how it is. Okay, it's been sitting in there for about 20 minutes now, so we're just going to flip it out. Pale on the bottom, which we expected because I mean, hey, it's not sitting on the rack, so you know, like on the rack in the air fryer. But there it is there. I'll just get a plate or something and a knife, and I'll cut it and see what it's like, eh? Okay, so let's just cut it in half. It's still quite warm at the moment, so you can hear that crust on the top. And here we go. Nice and soft and moist. Look at that. That is yum. Well, it looks yum anyway. Tastes yum too. So there you have it. Air fryer bread. Ta-da! Thanks everyone, and I hope you enjoyed that. And if you try it, let me know and let me know how it turns out and everything. Okay, yep. Thanks everyone. Bye.